When we learn about each other, we see how truly alike we really are. This is People of Faith with Carole Mikita on KSL News Radio 102.7 FM and 1160 AM.
Couple of questions for you here. Thanks for being with us. Does this insecurity make me look fat? Or does this confidence make me look magnificent? Why do clothing stores hang funhouse mirrors in their dressing rooms? The laundry doesn't cry when it's not folded, so why should I? Can I be confident even if an elevator calls me fat? These are observations from Michelle Wilson's humorous and poignant new book titled that first question, Does This Insecurity Make Me Look Fat? Available where Latter-day Saint products are sold. And once again, welcome, Michelle. It's lovely to have you here.
Thank you.
All the Little Leaves is a subtitle in this first chapter, and talk to me about what that means.
So the title of that little story comes from when I was 14 and I got my first pair of glasses. Up until then, I didn't realize I needed glasses. I thought that the trees and the leaves in the trees were just soft and beautiful, and the words on the chalkboard were fuzzy, and that's just how life was. And on my way home from getting my glasses, everything seemed to look very different. And the one thing in particular that caught my attention was this giant tree by our house. And I noticed that as I looked at it, I could see the detail of every leaf. And it was very life-changing for me just because I began to understand at that point the power of perspective, how I hadn't changed, but because I wore glasses, my ability to see the things that were already around me began to change. And perspective is such an important part of this book. That's why it's called Does This Insecurity Make Me Look Fat? It's all about how we see ourselves and life and the trials in life and how we see God. And when we can learn to see things through His eyes, through His perspective, it's just like borrowing a pair of His glasses. Can I borrow your glasses? Put it on, and you can see things with a clarity, and you can see things a little bit different, a little more truer to what they really are. I think our personal glasses sometimes can get a little muddied with fear and guilt and all those other just enemies, what I call enemies of perspective. And so it's a great exercise to try to find out how He sees us and sees life, and really just borrow His glasses so you can have that perspective.
That's a beautiful idea. And you follow this up with getting rid of things we don't need, which leads to uncluttering your mind. And I actually thought about the last time I cleaned out a drawer or a closet or something, and all of a sudden I felt so much better because I don't know of what I was doing with the stuff, or that I had taken the time to make something in my life a little less cluttered. It was wonderfully helpful.
It's therapeutic, isn't it? And then you realize, I cleaned out my closet the other day, and I realized there were clothes in there, seriously, from the early 90s. Some of them are coming back in style, but some not so much. But it's also good to emotionally go in there and see what's in there, and then ask yourself, do I need these feelings? Do they help me be the person that I am now? And then you can make that decision, just like cleaning out your closet. You have a garage sale, you let things go. You can do that with those emotional things that are shoved in the back of your closet. You can let go of some of those feelings that really may have pertained to you then, but not now. And one of the things I talk about in my book is not let who you were then compromise who you are now. And I think a lot of us, especially when I look back at my high school stint, that was a long time ago.
Yes.
And I'm a different person. I hope I am. We all should be. We all should be continually learning and growing. And it's important to look back at experiences and keep the memories, but let go of the negative emotions attached to them.
And now you have perspective as you're looking at the younger generation,
Right.
your children and others, that all of this information is valuable because you deeply remember what it was like to be 15 years old.
I do, and I talk to my daughter who's 15 and share this, and she's doing a lot better than I am, and I'm grateful for it. It's one of the best things that's come out of doing this is how happy she is.
And that's the other message that I loved about it, is because we spend a lot of time worrying about our children or grandchildren, as the case may be, instead of recognizing the wealth of information, knowledge, experience that we've gathered, and they are better. They are better than we are. We just need to add to it and reassure them of the direction in which they're headed, or to help them if they hit the wall the way we did.
Yeah, and let them know that we know how they feel, that we understand. I went through this, and so I can talk to her when she comes home and she's frustrated about school. And, there's a story in here that one day she went to a church dance and a boy told her she was perfect, and she was just felt so wonderful. Then the next day, a friend came to her house and said, you're just not the Paige we used to love. You're just not good enough. And she felt awful. And so I was able to sit with her and say, look, in a 24-hour period, you went from being amazing to being nothing, but you're the same person. And so be able to talk with her and say, I know how that feels, and where do you look to find your worth, and talk to her about, looking up for the worth. It's been really great.
Does this insecurity make me look fat? A new book from Michelle Wilson. We'll be right back.